Port Vila was a hive of activity at the Vanuatu Convention Center. Whilst there were many sessions at the Vanuatu ICT Week, a group of youth made up of secondary and tertiary students were part of a dynamic leadership training which was held through the Pacific Youth Internet Governance Forum track.
Okay, to me, this forum, I believe that it is very useful to help me and also especially the nation.
It's interesting and very educational in terms of internet access and governance within the country and what we can do to help.
I found this forum very interesting, very exciting.
I find this forum very interesting and informative in terms of internet governance.
And I found this forum interesting because I get to learn new things that I never learned before.
Pasifika Nexus, in collaboration with Congress WBN, KBC-Elevate, Global Leadership Interlink, Kingdom Community Network, Bright Path Foundation facilitated the first Pacific Youth IGF. Youth from Wales, Nigeria, Iraq, New Zealand, Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, Fiji, Trinidad, United States of America streamed into the youth track. The youth were exposed to learning about accessibility, availability and affordability of the internet in Tuvalu, Tonga, Solomon Islands, Tokelau, Cook Islands and Vanuatu, where they learned that similar challenges exist throughout the Pacific in terms of high internet costs. The youth also discussed various challenges of internet connectivity in Vanuatu and developed outcomes and made recommendations which will be released to the Pacific community.
If you don't have values, you can't build. So in order to build, you have to have values, and there has to be order, divine order, because only by divine order can you see the problem, and when you are able to see the problem, you can fix it.
Internet is not something that is run or governed by our government or something. It is, we are all part of. We are all part of the word internet governance.
The forum has given me a clear understanding of how internet is used. It is not it doesn't got any bad side, but it depends on the user whether they use it in the right side or the wrong side.
The youth also discussed other issues such as freedom of expression.
So it seems as though the freedom of expression in the UK are fairly similar to what you guys have there, as long as it does not hurt anyone physically or is not violent. We can express political views as long as they are not violent.
Though here in Kurdistan, or let's say as Kurdistan region as part of Iraq and as part of the greater Middle East, we have limited access to data. But individuals are relatively free in posting and sharing whatever they believe in and whatever they think about the economy, politics, or society in Kurdistan.
But there are very fine lines between what is my personal view and what else is find offensive, and I think that's where it becomes quite hazy, especially with the introduction of social media platforms such as Facebook. It's very easy now for people to state their opinions, so to say, what they find offensive. So yes, freedom of expression is my right, but is it my right to offend somebody because they don't like my political view or any view that I hold? I think that's quite a fine line to determine.
Though there are some limitations based on the culture, on religion, on the political situation in the region as a whole, but there is no limitation on any social media network or any kind of filtering or any kind of blockade of VPNs by the government or by the political parties. So people are all free and they all have access to different networks and have access to internet with different prices, which is relatively cheap compared to internet and regional provided in the regional countries.
And obviously there are the countries that don't have freedom of expression. So are they really any better off than us? Or are we any better off than them because we do have freedom of expression?
The youth also discussed internet safety, local content, and also produced a song during the session on local content.